This section of the cemetery is also known as one of the most picturesque sections of the cemetery. It even has a documentary about it, fittingly titled Section 60, which you can find on HBO Max. And then here on the passenger side, you'll notice some of our grave markers are different sizes, shapes, and colors. These more ornate grave markers are privately funded headstones, usually by family and friends. You'll be able to see him on the head in the second or third row on the driver's side, his name in gold lettering. The gold lettering signifies that he is a Medal of Honor recipient. While he fought in World War I, he didn't receive the Medal of Honor until almost 100 years after very rare for her time. And then just beyond Section 10, still on the passenger side, will be Section 12. Home to the final resting place of the Nakashima brothers. Visit to Arlington National Cemetery. He looked out upon the view from the highest point of the cemetery at Arlington House and was overheard saying, soldiers who are ground burial eligible, but for whatever reason have their remains unrecovered, perhaps buried at sea, or have their bodies donated to science. These sections of the cemetery are lettered instead of numbered, so we are passing by sections C, E, and D. Now, the changing of the guard ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is a very solemn ceremony. They've been doing it 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, continuously since 1948, by members of the elite 3rd Infantry, also known as the Old Guard. It is such a solemn ceremony that they ask for complete silence through the duration of the ceremony. They ask that you stay standing if you are able, and they ask that you don't eat, drink, smoke, or chew gum. They do the ceremony all times of day in all types of weather, including famously in 2011, the same hour as an ongoing earthquake.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I am Staff Sergeant Hassel Campagna of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, United States Army, Commander of the Relief, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. A ceremony that you are about to witness is the changing of the guard. In keeping with the dignity of this ceremony, it is requested that everyone remain silent and standing. Thank you. Shoulder. Out. 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 Heiß. Present. Out. Halt. Out. Out. Heiß. Pass. On your orders. Hold. And order. Remain as directed.
Orders. Acknowledged.
Out. Heiß. Present. Out. Right. Shoulder. Out. House. Right. Heiß. Out. 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 All out. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention for one more moment, please. As of 5 p.m., Arlington National Cemetery is closed to the public, and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier becomes a restricted military post. Therefore, all visitors must exit the cemetery at this time.
Exit to the left and return to the visitor center.
Thank you.
Live in the Civil War and the Battle of Chantilly. Next on the passenger side, Tanner Amphitheater, first amphitheater constructed here in Arlington, where the first Memorial Day ceremonies were held. Originally known as Decoration Day. And then past the amphitheater, the tomb of the Civil War unknowns, To 2,111 Union and Confederate unknown soldiers, and a tomb designed by the founder of the cemetery and deliberately placed close to the house to discourage the Lee family from ever coming back. So this is Arlington House, highest point in Arlington National Cemetery. So if you wanted to, you could go out and take pictures, but the bad news is no other tram's coming to get you. Funerals are going on at the cemetery. That flag goes half-staff. Half hour before the first funeral here in Arlington. Remains at half-staff till a half hour after the last funeral here at Arlington. So remember, everyone, we had 26 Arlington National Cemetery. All right, everyone, now let's see who's heard this poem before. And Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, which walk are placed, and in the sky the lark still brave, we singing flies, scarce heard of it, the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago we lived on dawns on sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up a quarrel with the foe, to you fulfilling hands, we throw the torch, be yours, so hold it high. If you bring faith for those who die, we shall not sleep till poppies grow in Flanders fields. Poem was written by Canadian physician John McCrae, presiding over the funeral of a friend who died during World War I, surveyed the battlefield of death and destruction, only thing growing with these little red poppies. Says that poppies have become an international symbol of sacrifice and remembrance throughout the world, and to remember the sacrifice of our service members here today. I'll be giving out the 3 red poppies and traditional branches of our federal government. Buried there with him his wife Helen. Helen brought the cherry blossoms over the tidal basin in 1912. She planted the first 2 cherry blossom saplings with a Japanese pasture club. So follow the walkway coming up on the pasture side here all the way up to that slim tan tower. And that's the final resting place for President William Howard Taft and his wife Helen. Past that tree in there, marked with 5 stars in a circle, for the last 5-star General Lamar Bradley, commander of the largest land forces of World War II, from the beaches of Normandy to the end of the war in Europe, commanded 43 divisions, the equivalent of 1.3 million men. So across the bridge on the driver's side here, you'll have a beautiful view of the Lincoln Memorial. And on the passenger side here, above the Military Women's Memorial, top of the hill behind it is Arlington House. So with Arlington House on one end, symbolizing the south, Lincoln Memorial on the other end, symbolizing the north, and the Memorial Bridge stretching across the Potomac, connecting the two, symbolizing the final reunification of the north and the south. So as we head back to the Welcome Center, I'd like to thank you for spending some time here at Arlington National Cemetery. It's a privilege to show you such a magnificent place. I hope you all enjoyed your visit. I hope you come back, bring your friends. These are just a few of the over 420,000 stories here at Arlington National Cemetery. And for those of